Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's me, Albatross. I'm going to continue reading this indictment. Before I get back into it, I wanted to give a disclaimer. Please do not attempt to contact anybody I talk about in this video. Please do not. That is not the point. I'm here to give my commentary and honest opinion on a publicly available court document, which will be available in the description if you would like to read it for yourself. Trigger warning: contains graphic and disturbing content related to crimes against humanity and children. And yeah, okay, so let's continue. Now, we just got done reading a little bit about like P4K and stuff like that. Now, they keep coming back up and forth, so I'm sure that's not the last we've heard about him. But in this part, we begin talking more about Lady Duck. Okay, so Overt Act number 113, January 5th, 2024. Lady Duck received a $50 Cash App payment for her sale of promethazine with codeine. I'm not really sure how they're able to prove that. That's what that sale was for. Maybe by text messages. I don't know. Okay, Overt Act number 114, January 17th, 2024. Using coded language over Instagram, Lady Duck purchased a black market mega personals account and had an unidentified co-conspirator post a sex advertisement for Lady Duck sex worker. What's black market mega personals? What's that? Is that like some kind of personal account for the black web? What is that? I appreciate whoever it was who explained to me what plied meant and what the different stuff in the terminology in this indictment means. Lord knows I needed to be pointed out to me. Can someone point out to me what this means, though? I have no idea what this means. Black market mega personals account. What the hell is that? What's that? Anyways, anyone who knows, please let me know in the comments. Because it's listed in the indictment, so I'm assuming it's something illegal. Okay. Overt Act number 115, January 17, 2024, same day, Lady Duck sent an unidentified co-conspirator $80 via Cash App for a black market mega personals account. So it's something she had to pay for? Okay, this is what I'm getting. It's something she might have had to pay for, but something maybe she didn't know how to do herself? Because this is an unidentified co-conspirator. Yeah, I really want to know what this is. A black market mega personals account. What is that? I mean, at this point, they didn't mind advertising on Instagram. But maybe they learned that the police were on to them. I don't know. I mean, this is only because I'm just assuming that a black market mega personals account is something illegal. Something maybe on the deep web. I'm just assuming. I really don't know. I have no idea what it means. But so let me continue. Overt Act number 116, January 21st, 2024. Lady Duck received a $69 Cash App payment from an unindicted co-conspirator on behalf of another unindicted co-conspirator for the sale of promethazine with codeine. So, okay. In the Overt Act before this one, they said unidentified co-conspirator. So I'm assuming the unidentified co-conspirator is indicted like she is. She's just that they're just not identified. And on this part where it says unindicted co-conspirator, I'm assuming these are the co-conspirators that have not been indicted. Going from the language they're using in this, I'm trying not to get confused or behind here. Okay. Okay, Overt Act number 117, January 25th, 2024. On Instagram again, Defendant Brooks, I don't remember what his moniker is, asked Lady Duck for a place to stay where he could, quote, duck low for a few months. Like, why is that listed on here? How is that illegal? Overt Act number 117. Defendant Brooks asked Lady Duck for a place to stay where he could duck low for a few months. How is that illegal? Why is that an overt act? There must be something I'm missing. Okay. Overt Act number 118, January 27, 2024. An unindicted co-conspirator complained. Crap. Who's Defendant Evans? What's their moniker? I should have gone back and looked at their monikers. But anyway. Defendant Evans I'm sorry. An unindicted co-conspirator complained to defendant Evans that the Hoovers were hanging out without any guns and thus making the gang look weak. Defendant Evans replied that they should start having a gang meeting every week. Wow, they're having their little group chats like they do at Walmart, right? Sorry, I guess it's not funny. I don't know why I would think it would be any different than a legal operation the way it run. It's just that they're doing illegal stuff. Okay. Overt act. Number 119. On the same day, Lady Duck recruited a sex worker and enticed her to go up to Las Vegas with Lady Duck and an unindicted co-conspirator to engage in commercial sex work. So once again, we see they're not just limited to the Figueroa corridor, that they extend further east to Los Angeles. And I even read that there's like a faction of the Hoovers who are indicted in Maryland. So like they're all over the place. They literally be all over the place. All right, overt act number 120. February 2nd, 2024, Lady Duck on Instagram demanded a $1,500 choosing fee from a potential sex worker who told Lady Duck she was ready to come home. Meaning ready to work for Lady Duck. So, on February 8, 2024, Lady Duck offered to sell an unidentified drug customer promethazine with codeine for $200 a pint or $25 a line, referring to the dosage line on the bottle cap. You see, this is a stop. How is it that they always have this steady supply of codeine? Where are they getting it from? Like, codeine isn't just like something you can grow in your apartment. You know what I mean? Like, a doctor had to have written a prescription for them to get this. Like, I'm under no illusion that these kids here in this indictment are fucking chemists and that they're making this themselves. No, I call bullshit on that. Where are they getting this from? Why isn't there any doctors indicted on this? The doctors helping them, supplying them with these kinds of prescription drugs. That's what I want to know. Where's the doctor at in this indictment? Where he be at? Huh? Freaking annoying. It's like, and listen, I'm not defending any of their actions. I'm not defending Lady Duck. I'm not defending Hands. I'm not defending Waymo. I'm not defending none of them. Okay? They all belong, like, we're in this indictment, for sure. What I'm simply asking is, they are clearly children, okay? They're not even 25. Their brains aren't even developed yet. So obviously there's more to this. There are more older, more mature people they're working under, including doctors. So, like, why aren't they listed on here? Anyways, let me get off my tangent. Where was I? So yeah, 122. February 15, 2024, Hands and 5 other known Hoover gang members were found at defendant Lady Duck's residence. Ooh, they doxed her. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if she's in jail. A residence Hoover Enterprise members used to house sex trafficking victims. Inside the residence, there were outfits consistent with commercial sex work, a bed, and condoms. As law enforcement approached the residence, an unidentified person threw a blue steel semi-automatic handgun out of a window. Ugh, dude's not smart. Really not smart. You pretty much just said, here, take this. Here's some evidence for you. You would have been better off just to try to hide it, maybe. I don't know. Listen, I know you can't hide everything from cops, but like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna get into it. Maybe another time. Okay. Overt act number 123. Oops, too far. Okay. February 17, 2024, using coded messages on Instagram, Lady Duck told defendant Evans they were having a gang meeting, which Evans agreed to attend. Overt. See, like, why are... I could sit there and say I'm having a gang meeting. Why are they putting it on here as an overt act? Like, there's nothing illegal about that. Now, at least from the way they're describing it, like, simply on Instagram, Lady Duck said, "We're going to have a gang meeting, y'all." How is that illegal? How is that an overt act? An overt illegal act? I'm confused. I'm not a lawyer, but someone, please. Like, I'm confused. Okay, overt act number 124. Same day, Lady Duck informed an unindicted co-conspirator about the Hoover gang meeting to take place in a park in Hoover territory. Once again, not seeing what's illegal about that. Unless they're just, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to, like, lay down, like, a story of, I don't know. Number 125, February 18th, 2024. Phillips. Which one was Phillips? Isn't that Waymo? I think that's Waymo. Recruited an unidentified sex worker, told her that he had elevated his bottom bitch. Okay. That his other sex workers were weak and that his come home fee is $2,000. Meaning she had to pay a fee of $2,000 to work for him. To which the unidentified sex worker replied that was easy and told Waymo to come to her apartment to pick her up. You see, I would have probably gotten beat up like every single day. I probably would have been killed by these guys because, like, you know what? Never mind. Let me not go say what I would do or wouldn't do because none of us really knows until you're in that position. So let me not go there. Okay. Overt act number 126, February 18th, 2024. Brooks asked Hands. I don't remember Brooks's moniker. I remember Ameko's moniker, which is Hands. Brooks asked Hands to provide oxycodone, which Hands agreed to provide to Brooks at the Stadium Inn. Brooks advised Hands when he arrived at the Stadium Inn, where Hands provided Brooks with Hands' Cash App name for Brooks to provide payment. Okay, never mind. So Brooks can provide him payment. Okay, I thought it was another duo sharing their Cash App again. So on February 18th, Brooks sent Hands $20 on Cash App for the oxycodone pills. Like, whatever happened to cash? Like, honestly, like, if you idiots had just used regular cash, would this even be in here? Would these overt acts even be in here? Like, Cash App leaves such a paper trail, bro. Like, why would you do that? Like I said, probably because it worked with the cops, but let me not repeat myself. Y'all already know, if you've watched any of these videos so far, you already know how I feel. That no one's truly this dumb, that they must have had some kind of agreement in place. Alright, on February 19, 2024, Lady Duck recruited another sex worker who had previously worked for her and told her that she had another sex worker working for her. So Lady Duck enticed her former sex worker to, quote, come home and sent an Uber to pick her up and told her to go to 222 South Figueroa Street with all of her belongings. The sex worker told Lady Duck that once she arrived, she had an out-call date for $300. You know what's sad to me is, did any of these, like Lady Duck, Hands, any of these pimps, did any of them actually ever protect these women, these girls, these little girls? Did any of them ever actually do what they claimed they would do? Or did they just constantly beat them up all the time and take their money? Like, I just can't. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. So it sounds like someone needed to jump in and protect them from their pimps. All right. On February 20th, 2024, Lady Duck asked Evans where he was, and Evans replied, "Set now," referring to their Hoover territory. And Lady Duck wrote that she was, what? In the Gunnets, referring to the Hundreds block in Hoover territory. Okay. Why is that an overt act again? Just saying where they're at? But okay, wait. Here, this is the next overt act, same day. Okay. An unidentified co-conspirator asked Lady Duck if she wanted to purchase his sex worker for $1,000. Oh my God! Noting, this is the one that we heard about. Noting that if she did not, he would sell her organs across the border. And then Lady Duck replied by asking what the sex worker looked like. Damn! Okay, so this wasn't just some random cartel member asking her this. This was a co-conspirator. So an unindicted at that co-conspirator. Why is Lady Duck indicted when the organ trafficker isn't? Like, what is going on here? Maybe this unindicted co-conspirator... See, I'm starting to gather this thought, because there's so many unindicted co-conspirators lifted in here. Maybe these unindicted co-conspirators are the snitches. You know what I mean? So, like, this organ trafficker can get off, basically. Ugh, God, disgusting. It's just disgusting. Because how else would they have all this information? For real. These unindicted co-conspirators must have been snitches. Or, I mean, I would think. I mean, who's giving them all this information? Like, with dates and everything. It seems to me the only two people who would know about this conversation would be Lady Duck and the unindicted co-conspirator. And Lady Duck ain't telling on herself, I don't think. So what the... Where's this organ trafficker? Is he going to get off just because he told him Lady Duck? What the fuck? I hate the feds. I'm telling you what. If you want them to really screw something up royal, oh my God. That's like all they ever do. By the way, I have a petition in the description if you want to sign and share it to defund and dismantle the CIA. Please do. Anyway, okay. Overt Act number 131. February 23rd, 2024. Phillips, which I think is Waymo, posted a video on Instagram filmed by P4K showing Waymo approach his sex trafficking victim in a store, pull her to the ground, then repeatedly punch and kick her. The video is captioned Chop Season, a reference to his... Okay. His moniker, Chop 'em, which must be another one of those... Oh yeah, because he's one of the ones who has like a bunch of monikers. All right, number 132, February 23rd, 2024. Lady Duck sent Evans an Instagram video showing Waymo assaulting his victim. And then Evans replied with 5 laughing emojis and asked, Waylon, referring to, Waymo, referring to Waymo's other moniker. Oh my God. This Waymo guy has so many monikers. It's ridiculous. Okay. Evans replied again with 3 more laughing emojis and added, if you ever be needing that, let me know. I got it. Offering to assault Lady Duck sex workers. And then Lady Duck replied, Hoover Street or set, maybe. Yeah, it probably means set, I would assume. Unless there is a Hoover Street. Like I said, I've never been to LA. I don't know. Okay. Overt Act number 133, February 23rd, 2024. Same day, I think, right? Same day. Let me look. Yeah, same day. Lady Duck offered to sell promethazine. She got more promethazine with codeine and oxycodone to an unidentified customer. Number 134. The next day, Lady Duck offered to sell prospective drug customer promethazine with codeine, and Lady Duck told the customer to meet at 222 South Figueroa. All right, even the next day after that, February 25th, 2024, using coded language as usual. Excuse me. Evans reprimanded his sex worker, criticizing her for not acting properly, not making enough money for him, and thereby tarnishing his public image. Bro. All right. What public image? You guys already look like a bunch of punks. All right. Overt Act number 136, February 27, 2024. Lady Duck told an unidentified co-conspirator, aka possibly a snitch, that she was on Gage Avenue in Hoover territory recruiting commercial sex workers. The same day, Hands and Lady Duck discussed their respective sex workers getting in a fight, to which Lady Duck wrote that she was pulling up and would get on that bitch. Okay. All right. Man, there's a lot in this 1 week here. Okay, February 28th, 2024. Evans and Hands discussed their sex workers. Evans told Hands that Brooks needed Evans' help because Evans' sex worker was drunk and acting out of line. All right. The next day, February 29th, Lady Duck distributed 25 prescription oxycodone pills to an unindicted co-conspirator and agreed to drop off the drugs at the House of Hotties. That's that clothing store that they own. All right, number 140. Same day, Lady Duck received a Cash App payment of $375 from an unidentified person using a Cash App account with account name of House of Hotties. Right, number 141, March 1st, 2024. Lady Duck told an unindicted co-conspirator that she was at the Stadium Inn. Like I said, I don't think that should be an overt act, dude. Especially since we go right to 2 days later. How is just meeting her at Stadium Inn an overt act? This is getting on my nerves a little bit. Okay, let me read this real quick. Overt act number 142, and then I'm going to stop here for today. Or for right now, at least. March 3rd, 2024. Lady Duck exchanged messages with a prospective sex worker about doing dates, and Lady Duck told this sex worker that Lady Duck was sending an Uber to pick her up. All right, we'll stop there. I think. How much more do we... Yeah, we'll just stop there. So next time we'll pick up on page 52, overt act number 143. But yeah, I just wanted to leave off with saying this. Like, in my mind, unless they're telling on themselves, how else would the feds have all this information? Like, they must have had snitches in their group. Especially the unindicted ones. I mean, I don't really see another way around it. Unless they literally, like, had been under investigation, being recorded, and they just didn't care and just kept doing all this stuff, knowing they were being investigated. Doesn't make much sense either. So, yeah, I mean, they obviously probably know amongst themselves who the snitches are, right? And they're not just the victims. Like, there's tons of unindicted co-conspirators that are not named. So, I don't know, yeah, that's just what I'm getting from it. They obviously have some, like, people in their camp who is either working with the feds willingly, or also the feds had something on them. Because, you know, the feds work just as dirty as these guys do. I mean, let's not pretend like they don't. They're dirty. So, yeah, in my description, please sign and share the petition to defund and dismantle the CIA. They're like the dirtiest of all the feds. So, please, sign and share the petition. And I will be back with part 9. Stay tuned.